not going to talk about this team very long. This team's absolutely atrocious. 0 out of 10. They are horrible. They've got Excadrill without Sand. They've got Clefable without any valuable support. Porygon2 switches in and does absolutely jack shit because it doesn't have anything paired with it. Manaphy doesn't really sync well with any of the Pokemon here. This team is just ass.
But Relicanth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that good.
It's a hard team. Like, that's pretty much all
yeah, congrats. You have Combuskin as your fire type.
I'm looking at this and like this team might be like on par with Will's team in A right now. But Will's team in A right now is very simple to fix once they get some speed. This team, like, it just has no purpose. I don't see what they're supposed to do. Team's not as bad as you make it have to be. No, Gumac is 10 times worse.
Okay. Gumac, if you could tell us why, but overall, there's not much really helping it out here.
Yeah. Sayat Lurantis.
Oh, the return of Eric Steele.
No. Celesteela, Milotic, interesting core. Beat to electric, but you know, they're good.
Yeah.
He's the
return of Dr. Worm.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just has all of the meme Pokemon. He has Milotic, he has Dawn, he has Alolan Muck.
Yeah, he's got like a bunch of fan favorites on this team. Florges will pair well with some of his Pokemon, like Steel's Florges is super good core. He's got a Selgor for quick hazards. Seismitoad's grass weakness is super covered by this team. Really, only Milotic's like the only other one that's weak to grass. Tyrantrum's good setup Pokemon. I could see it being used as a wall breaker. Overall, slightly below average team. I don't think it's amazing, but I think it's I think it's pretty decent. I'm not really seeing anything super amazing.
I guess there's no real way to set out.
I'm also rushing through this one.
Yeah. Okay, we got Zahir's team next. The Haruka, it's Chuggersby. My case about the nickname in point. And first of all, we got Tansy as the special defensive wall. Pretty good wall. Got well for special attacks.
He's got Chansey Pharaoh. Like that's
pretty good. Yeah,
that's still pretty good. Like fighting just comes in and has its way, and he doesn't really have anything that's like super good against fighting types.
I mean, he's got good ways of damaging them, just nothing to really take a hit.
He's got Dragalge, but like he doesn't really have anything that's like super good. Like good Mach Puncher. I think Kong got drafted in D-League.
Yeah, that's gonna do wonders on this team.
Yeah. So like that's something to know. I don't think it's like the end of the world though.
Yeah, and then other than that, he's got Mega Charizard X, so he's got a good Mega right there. I think that's his only real.
He's got good hazard setting, very good hazard setting. I'm not really seeing too much in terms of hazard control. Starmie is like the only.
That's beyond with Magic Pants.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
okay, that's pretty decent then. I was gonna say like he doesn't really have much of Evolve support, but he's got Starmie and just then he's got Espeon. I think you can probably bet on him bringing at least one of those psychic types though. So I think it's like a really good bet to bring in knockoff against this team. Justified Lucario is not enough alone to deter that. And you can knock off chances Eviolite plus, do some really good damage to those psychic types that are trying to come in on hazards. Something like T-Tar could run.
I'd be a bit afraid of a knockoff with Rizian, but because he got
two justified teammates. Yeah.
So I mean, both of which resisted. So
yeah,
I'd still pack it if I was going against this team, but I would
be psychic types on one team.
I'd be wary to use it.
I think at the very least, you could sort out some of his lower tiers. I don't think Raichu is really doing too much, though it is his only electric type. I think there's probably a lot better electric types in tier 5. I think the Jinx is pretty redundant because he already has Pokemon that can throw out ice type moves and psychic type moves. Espeon covers the psychic part of it. Starmie more than dishes out the ice type moves. Got Pilot's fine too. I think there's a little bit of redundancy in the lower tiers.
Yeah.
But I think overall it's a solid team. Like we're around average, I would say, in my opinion. So who's the Gears team? Who was it again?
Halucha.
Lucha. Lucha, it's Chuggers Day. Pretty average. There we go. Houston Hariyamas.
Yep.
Got
Okay.
Latios.
Not Big Dick Nick.
I think that's, I don't know who it is. But yeah.
So yeah, got some good wall breakers. Fast Pokemon.
Good wall breakers plus Mega Sharpedo, which is kind of nice.
Actually, it's practically all wall breakers.
I think you and I have a little bit different definition of wall breakers.
I mean,
I see like Nidoking's wall breaker. Latios can be.
Yeah, I mean, it's like that. It's like Mega Sharpedo.
I see Mega Shark more as a sweeper than a wall breaker.
I mean,
it comes in, gets a kill with no speed boost, and then it just starts ripping through teams.
I guess,
in my opinion. I guess it could wall break. It has like a really powerful attack stat with strong draw boost, health draw boost, but like once it doesn't really have any way to boost its attack.
Yeah, I think you.
It's not like it's that big.
Yeah, you rank Mega Sharpedo higher than I do. I know that.
But Tyranitar Mimikyu is a good pair. We saw Dick use that last season. It worked out pretty well.
Good team.
What's he doing for hazards, though? I know he has hazard control, but does he actually lay down hazards? He's got really good hazard control, but
I guess it's like Tyranitar.
Yeah, Nidoqueen's the hazard setter, not Nidoking.
Yeah, it's like Tyranitar with rocks.
Yeah, I think he needs to get some more hazards.
You're gonna be running hazards on Nidoking? Like, okay, Cobalion maybe, but it's like I'm gonna be prioritizing that as a switcher.
What does Cobalion get? Just rocks?
I think, yeah, but it's like Pinsir. What?
No, I drafted the damn thing. I dropped it. I didn't even know if.
Yeah, it gets rocks.
Yeah, it gets Stealth Rock.
But I'm gonna be focusing. Yep. I'll put rocks on it, but I'm gonna be focusing more on Volt switching and whatnot.
Combines or something like that. Yeah, Cobalion having rocks is a bit better than what I thought. I still think that like it doesn't have like a dedicated rocker. I think it has like some Pokemon that can get rocks, but nothing that really stands out as like a dedicated rocker.
Yeah.
But he's got good defog support, good spin support, so yeah, I think it's a pretty decent team. It's hard to rank these because I'm not like focusing much effort.
Okay.
Why are we taking advice from two bottom tier drafters from A-League? Because Glumac, even if I can't draft my own teams, I've drafted some pretty decent teams.
And obviously Glumac, I was just in this for the memes if it was not obvious from the name.
I've drafted some good teams for other people. I just can't draft
myself.
This
is a guy who set up Sammy's team and then completely neglected his own.
Speaking of other teams I set up, Big Dick Nick. Not exactly the definition of quality team. Oh, yeah, you're welcome, Zigger. Have fun at tutoring. I'll be joining you tomorrow for that.
Yeah.
Speaking of
I'm seeing some
decent but not amazing team. Ignore the Squirtle. Please ignore the Squirtle.
No, that's gonna win a game.
And the Incineroar round one. Like those two decisions were not smart, nor were the Minior decisions because it wasn't really valuable for the team at that point. Basically, this team is just supposed to be pretty fast, hit pretty hard, call it a day. I think it kind of does that. It doesn't really have a defensive backbone whatsoever.
Buzzwole, that's kind of it.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not a defensive backbone. It's a pretty defensive Pokemon, but it's clearly going to be used offensively.
Yeah.
So basically, what I see here is a good offensive team. It can Volt Switch pivot rounds, Volt Switch, Volt turn around early on with like Zeraora and Mega Pidgeot. Got Azelf too. But like later in the game, it's just pretty much trying to set up a sweeper. This is like your classic Aurora Veil set. So, yeah. I think that the thing to take into account is that based off of the skill level of all these players here, I think this is actually going to be a pretty decent team just because it's hyper offense in a league where, you know, it's easy to capitalize with this team on like a small little mistake and just kind of break down the door per se by setting up like a Aurora Veil plus some sort of sweeper behind it, like be it Sigilyph or Buzzwole or Minior or something along those lines.
The Dawn
even
Special.
Snorlax. Whereas I think it sucks in A League because people are actually like really good. In D League, where people are still newer to the game, still learning their options and stuff like that, a team like this could actually be pretty deadly. I'm not gonna lie. Latias round 1, classic. Mega Scizor pairs super well with it. They cover each other's weaknesses really nicely. Rotom Wash round 3. Klefki, at this point you already have two Levitate Pokemon. So really at this point you're not stacking weaknesses. Damn, I didn't realize this because I didn't really look over the drafts, but I would actually say this is an amazing draft. Because that core of 4 Pokemon is actually pretty big. You're going to be able to set hazards. You're going to be able to get rid of hazards. You're going to be able to do some setting up. You're going to pivot around super well. Shaman's like a good all-around option there. Talonflame can do some work. Umbreon will have good support through the hazard set up by the other Pokemon.
Hopefully she uses Zoroark a bit better this time around.
Yeah, well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not judging by like previous stuff. Zoroark wasn't super well used in the previous season.
But yeah, overall, very good team.
Again, I think the only thing that's Articuno just kind of stands out as being pretty mediocre.
I mean, it's a late round pick, so
yeah, but like I think you can get involved, like use utility out of like a lot of your later things. Yeah. I think overall, I drafted like a really strong, really solid team. Like I'm really impressed by that, to be honest. Not like as good as like the top 5 of the A League teams in my opinion, but like it's good. Huh?
Nothing. Okay, so let's see next.
Magikarp Diem, Cadax, David K.
Okay, so we're seeing Tapu Koko and
plus Sworn. That's actually really good.
Okay, got Slowking, Bronzong.
He's going to be pivoting around a lot, and he's got a good regen core. Do you see a Wish Basher?
I do.
Does Slowking Wish Bash? I don't think it does.
I think it might be able to.
I don't think it does. It has like a lower. Look real quick. I don't think it does.
Yeah, this team's going to be swapping a lot.
I don't really use Slowking too much. Yeah, it does not.
Oh,
I didn't think it did.
Okay.
Because I know it's a lower HP Pokemon anyway. Well, at the very least, with Wish or with a good regen core in here, like a very good regen core actually. Got Intimidates going around with Arcanine. He's going to be pivoting a lot. He has options to come in and hit hard near the end of the game in terms of like Flygon, Kabutops. Good is really good. Yeah, honestly, this is just a really good team. I think it's definitely up there.
Not much more to say.
I'm sorry, this part I'm just talking every bit. Yeah, being a jackass. A little worse than that. I think I was a little bit better. Trying to get it done.
Yeah, I know.
People want time spots. This is what I'm going to sign off with. All right. Angelo's team. I wish I could have been like more focused on helping Angelo. I was working on Antonio's and Nick's teams, and this is the one that kind of suffered, I think, because I was only kind of helping Angelo.
Oh, is this just my team again?
It's got some similar things to you, except it's on the Megalop UC. Like, there's 3 Pokemon, you took them pretty early. I think you did base some of it off of your team.
Those were his first 3.
Basically, at first, like, he had a crippling weakness to rocks, and honestly, he still kind of does because he doesn't really have a super good spinner. Because we picked up Necrozma and Metagross from dropping Antipom and Azumarill. His initial team suffered from doubling up on stuff. Somebody whoever's in the dock here just a jackass.
Yeah.
It has to be Glumac.
It's Glumac.
Yeah. So basically it has some Pokemon that were doing some like similar things before, like Ambipom and Lop are doing something pretty similar. I think we've patched some of the stuff, but it still has like some common type weakness now that he has 3 Psychics on the team. So I think overall this was like a between mediocre and average draft, and it's gotten ever so slightly better through those first 2 transactions. More usable for sure, but I still don't think it's particularly great. I think he still needs to focus on ironing out some type synergy and getting some more hazard control, because I don't think he's really done that so far.
Okay.
Yeah. I think there's still progress to be done.
Okay. And now for one of the more interesting names.
Nuggets. Chris White. Chris White, in my opinion, probably the most skilled coach in the league.
Without a doubt.
Well, AJ's really good too, and Eric's beaten me twice, so I guess I can't smack talk him too
Those
much.
are Eric's only wins.
No, he's won other
Okay,
matches.
yeah, against Chris White.
Yeah, he won some in the first. Did he really win 2 games?
Yeah, those are the only games he won.
I hope you know. I think that Eric and Chris are the first and second seed in their division again. So, like, their division's going to come down to the rematch.
Eric only beat you twice, and he beat Chris White twice. That was it.
All right. Well, we got the Amoonguss. It seems like a really Chris White Pokemon. Regen. Momola back again. So he's got that double Pokemon regen thing in there. He's got good wish passing. A little bit more offensive than some of his previous teams. He's got that Mega Arrow in there. He's going to come in and hit hard. Mew has a lot of options. I think he'll take advantage of that pretty well. And Scavalier and Crustle, 2 of the most underrated low-tier Pokemon. Tauros is decent as well. He's got a lot of walls, and he can help heal those walls with good wish passing. He can regen around like a lot too. Hazard control, weaker side. I think weaker side for hazard control. Mew is a good defogger.
Yeah. Other than that.
Yeah. Weaker on hazard control. I could see that being improved a bit.
But yeah, just overall seeing a couple Chris staples like a little Momola.
Right. So I think that
Mew's actually been taken in D League. Wow, rip.
Not in A.
Yeah, rip Doza Dave.
I would say slightly better than that is. Slightly better than that is. And that is the Nuggets. Yeah. So that's the best one we've reviewed so far. But I'm moving on to the best draft in this league, which has an amazing core. So Antonio, bouncing back from last season. What?
How did this?
How did this happen? This is an amazing team. He's going to use it well too.
Wow, this is impressive.
So first off, he's got Bulutran.
This is impressive. He's
got Bulutran, which is amazing OU core, with Palucha tossed in, which is something you might see on an OU team. Mega Slowbro can do some stuff. It has good type synergy with the other ones, and has just a huge defensive wall, so it'll prevent them from being broken through physically. Adds some special presence on his team because the team's pretty physical with Bulu in there. We got Gliscor in the last round, even though I think it's basically one of his essential Pokemon.
Yeah, that's like the best last round pick I've seen.
Because look at his team; it's very, very ice resistant. So Gliscor, you can't just run HP Ice on him because you might also want to run HP Ground or HP Poison because he's got a lot of quad weaknesses.
Yeah.
And it's there's certain Pokemon you're not going to be able to break if you're spreading your coverage too thin. Kyurem, bulky Pokemon that would be surprised by, can pressure stall or do stuff like that. You might want to set up to break through some of his walls because he definitely has some, or set up on some of his Pokemon that don't have as much of an offensive presence, like Mega Slowbro. But guess what? If you do that, Ditto is just going to come in and copy you, and that'd be the end for you. Antonio's team did not work with Ditto at all last season because he was running an offensive team.
It had a very good sweep.
Yep.
It was the most fitting end for the Genesect Evangelions.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna lie, this team, I could see some stuff going wrong with it, but it's on a coaching level. Antonio's definitely progressing as a coach rapidly, and I think he's probably top 5 in terms of the coaches skill wise at this point. But this is still a hard team to use because you have to pivot around a lot with it. It's utilizing a defensive core, which is a little bit more challenging than utilizing an offensive core. So
this definitely has potential to be one of the best teams.
I think this is the best team, but I think it's also one of the harder to use teams. So it's like making a top tier, making one of the more complicated characters in Smash. You might be held back by your inability to make the most out of what you have, even though it's on paper amazing. So I'm a little bit worried about that, but I think Antonio progressing really nicely as a coach. So I think he should be fine. And I think this team definitely going to help him carry him, or not carry him, but help him get to the top.
Yeah.
Chris Thompson, as much as he pains to admit it, one of the best players in the D League based off of results.
Well, yeah. Of course you'd say that. I mean, he's also one of the few people to have gotten a belly drum sweep.
Yeah, but is
also
belly drum sweeping you really worth talking about? Kind of, maybe, sort of. All right, Finny, Araquanid, Salazzle, Magnezone. Magnezone, Mega Latios, Drag Mag, that works really well. Mamoslide's a good lead. Also gives them some priority because I think that's something we haven't really talked about too many teams. Some teams are lacking priority. I think that was one of the problems I didn't bring up with Angelo's. Covers his electric weakness on Finny Araquanid really well with his other Pokemon. Slurpuff, really good Pokemon. The Drum later in the game gets some good sweeps, especially behind webs or behind hazards or something like that. It seems actually not super hazards oriented outside of the webs. Like I could see him getting a little bit more hazards. Though he does have good hazard control. Miltank for hazards, but his hazard control is pretty solid. But like I could see something. Funny, yeah. I think I could see like going for like another spiker or something like that because I'm not really seeing much outside of the Miltank.
Let's Tapu Fini in A-League.
Yeah, actually, he has pretty good rocks. He's got Mamo Miltank, but like he could use some spikes or something like that. T spikes something. What are my weaknesses? I'm looking at this. Honestly, I'm not really seeing too much. I think it's one of the better teams. Maybe the close analysis I could tear it apart a bit more, but I would say even put it above Magic Carpet Diem. More than halfway through. He's just spamming projectiles, whatever it is. Okay. Kevin and I were talking about this earlier. Pace, I think you could preview this team a little better than me. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, let's see. I'm seeing some fan favorites of mine.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I got Cortana. Can be a really good mon, but if you can't utilize it effective, it's an entirely dead weight. Let's see. Gengar, I think that's one of your favorites. Okay, got Donphan for rocks. Electros, good, slow, Volt Switcher. Got Rain Dance Team number 2. And we'll say, not seeing too much hazard like control. I guess Donphan with Rapid Spin. But other than that, it's like, yeah, it's kind of it, actually.
Yeah, I hadn't dropped that Donphan because, like, I saw that he was lacking one.
But yeah, it's got solid defense with Toxapex, Sableye Core.
Yeah. I like the half rain.
Yeah.
Because, it gives them other options. They can't just plan around the rain being there 100% of the time.
Yeah.
I do think the main thing, though, is that he's lacking offensive options outside of the rain. Gengar and Cortana can be used outside of rain. Cortana is a lesser effect. Gengar isn't really, like, a sweeper, per se.
Yeah.
So, like, I could see some more offensive. The more I look at the more offensive Pokemon being outside of rain would be good. Like, something like Sableye, I think, could be replaced out for a good offensive tier 4. Reworking it to be like have a little bit more offensive pressure outside of the rain. I think that in terms of hazard stack, I mean Pex is really good at it.
Yeah, it's decent. Very good.
I wouldn't really say what else is really setting up hazards.
Donphan could put rocks up.
Yeah, and Swampert could technically do that, but you're not using your Mega Swampert for the same purpose as you would a regular Swampert.
I mean, it's decent.
I wouldn't really say so. But yeah, I think the team could. It'd be interesting. I'm not really seeing how this team comes together super hard on paper. It's got some good elements here and there. I don't think it's super amazing. He might end up just spamming rain, just like he's spamming Sceptiles.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move this here.
Okay, we're getting near the end.
Not as good as Nick's team, but it's better than Angelo's.
Okay. Now next we have Cameron, the Slateport Skarmory.
Derby. That isn't Liz.
And got another Storm Bliss core.
Scarn Bliss coming in this in the last one. I think it's a bit overrated, but it's still solid. I think it's good for a beginner play around.
I'm seeing a much more like defensive team than most, I'd say, because it's like got Scarn Bliss, got Rotom Heat, got Vaporeon. So, and then he does have some offensive options as well. He's got Megazam, Thundurus. Well, that's I. So I guess that's more of a just status inflictor.
Well, I mean, it's still like pretty solid overall. It's got Prankster, so it's gonna be big.
Only problem I can see is that his best physical attacker would be Archeops.
Oh God.
Because other
that
than
thing
that,
is not a physical attacker.
Yeah, other than that, it's Blaziken, and that's kind of it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Guzzlord maybe, but I'm going to be running special on that.
Yeah, so this team's going to really struggle to break special walls. I mean, it has Blissey, thankfully, so it's not really worried about that. Megazam can throw off side shocks as well.
Yeah, but it's not doing too well if you just run like 1 or 2 physical like walls that just can take a few hits.
Yeah, I think he has a nice defensive core. I think he just lacks win cons outside of Zam and maybe Thundy.
Yeah.
So like, because Archeops is a wall breaker, not a sweeper.
Yeah.
So like, I'm seeing his game plans to wear stuff down, but I'm not sure he really has like a super high conclusion to that. And I also think that Scarnbros is a bit overrated. So, sure, I'll say better than Nick's team. It has like a more cohesive game plan, even if I don't really see it being executed. So
okay,
well.
And then next we have the
Serpent Swampert.
Okay, with a new player here.
Yeah. Arbor. Everybody in the D League loves him. I've met him once. He's a nice guy.
I haven't seen him before.
No, you probably might have. I've seen he's been around, but
overall, I can say solid looking team at least at first glance. For defense, got Hippowdon, got Zapdos, Empoleon is Defogger. Let's see, Mega Beedrill for sweeping.
Beedrill.
Terrakion can do. Okay, nice. But yeah, not seeing too many offensive. Well, it's like Hydreigon, and then it's like you got. This guy loves 10-3 starters. And Kadabra is an interesting pick. Actually, starters in general, he has 3 of them.
I think Kadabra is actually just really good. One of the most underrated Pokemon. It's fast, it hits pretty hard. It gets like Sash Cannon and stuff like that.
Yeah. But
I actually really like this team.
Yeah,
It's got good hazard setting up. It's got good hazard control. It's got good pivoting around with its Pokemon. It's got Pokemon that are weak to like fighting type moves, weak to physical Pokemon, paired well with Zapdos, which are going to come in and kind of tank those. So like in Empoleon, you want to hit with a fighting move or an Earthquake. Fighting move, you get paralyzed. Earthquake, you don't hit it. I think overall on paper, this is just pretty solid draft. And yeah, I got to give credit for fits too.
Pretty good.
Better than mine. Better than mine. I think every team's better than mine.
No, come on. We didn't list yours at the bottom.
You're right. We was Coach Steve, and it's definitely not me.
Definitely not done.
Put it up here. Really screwed. I'm going to put it over Thompson's.
So the only thing I've done well with Alakazam in draft was that one time I stopped Belly Drum Sweep by Snorlax.
There we go. It's 2 teams.
My faith in the Abra line was completely destroyed by Dozer Dave. Should have had me more.
Fucking whatever it is. He's got the Zygarde and Gren, aka the championship team.
Yeah. Got Fortress, Chandler, Whimsicott. Oh, this is looking like a
Suicune Raikou. Oh, I love that. That's actually
this is looking like a good team. I'd say. Got some defensive Pokemon. Got Rocks, Spin.
Fortress doesn't really suck that much, Finn. You're pairing it here with Shandy, which I think is a really, really good pair for it.
Yeah, and Suicune as a backup.
It does some stuff, I think paired well in this team, it's really good because it can pivot in and out.
I don't think
set them up.
I don't think he's ever going to run Bandit Explosion, though.
I mean, that's to kill Cafu Coco, and he's not enough stuff on this team to kill Skoko. So,
yeah.
Honestly, I like this team. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Bit of everything,
It's
I'd
got
say.
good bulk. Like Zygarde, Raikou, and Suicune are some of like the most deceptively pokey Pokemon. Gren's just fast and powerful. He's got Diancie that's also fast and powerful. So he's got options to sort of sweep like later in the game, that or Shandy or something like that. So he's got options for sweeping. He doesn't need a Shandy Z Captain. I think that's really good. He shows all his Z Captains really well, I think.
Yeah.
Actually considered one of the best drafts. I'm super impressed by these D-League drafts. I wasn't sure how they would turn out. Because I remember the first season when I drafted and I didn't know anything about drafting. I thought it was actually like I was drafting really well and I was drafting really shittily.
Yeah.
And now that I know how to draft, I still can't draft well.
Yeah, and no, for me, I was literally just went in with no plan at all because I just figured,
I drafted for you the first season.
Well, yeah, I meant this past season, though.
Oh, right. It's almost like most D-League coaches had an A-League coach helping them. Yeah.
Probably. And last, but certainly not least.
Okay. He took Lando around one. I'm like, okay, this is an AJ play. He's taking the optimal play. And then takes Sylveon round 2. I was like, huh.
Yeah, I'm not really. I guess Sylveon could help out Doublade, but Doublade's not really going to be in there for a long time anyway, even with recovery.
Yeah, that's fair. It'll help Chestnut out immensely as well.
Yeah.
He got Sunny last round. I should have guessed.
Of course.
Good little tangle. So yeah, looking at AJ's team, like I see basically a lot of sort of mid-range options, some defensive Pokemon. I think he's going to play Pokemon like he plays Smash, kind of keep the opponent in the distance, play mid-range, pivot around them a bit, sort of make them play his game. Only thing I'm not really seeing here is like a lot of like end-game Pokemon in terms of like, I'm just going to send in this fast Pokemon. His team's also pretty slow. He seems really slow. He's got Delphox, which is really fast, and Manectric, which is really fast.
But other than that.
But the rest of the team's slow. Primarina will have to run like a Scarf to keep up. Only priority seems to be Komala Sucker Punch, right? Am I wrong there? A little Lycanroc, Accel Rock as well.
Yeah, Lycanroc. But other than
and
that,
Shadow Sneak on Doublade. I guess it does have some priority.
Mm-hmm.
But like nothing that would like.
3 fast mons. I see Lycanroc, Manectric. What's the third fast mon? Delphox, I guess.
Yeah.
Scarfers.
Lycanroc. I didn't see that for fast mons.
Yeah.
I think it's kind of slow, even if he does have some really good Scarfers. I think he'll have to rely on some.
And you don't always want to rely on the Scarfers.
Yeah. Especially because like Lando's a good Scarfer, but it can do so much other things.
I wouldn't say 110 is slow. I'd say like that's medium to good, but
no. 110 is pretty fast. 100 is like a little bit too slow. Anything over 100 is where you start getting good.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And once again, it's like hopefully he uses Mega Manectric a bit better than Jolteon.
Yeah. So where would I toss that?
Doesn't get Synchronized, so that's the start.
Oh yeah. Don't click Synchronized, please don't. I'm gonna say somewhere around there. So sort of how I would say.
Okay.
I think that honestly, D-League drafts were surprisingly good. I think that all the teams there have, for the most part, they have Pokemon that they can use to sort of like grow and evolve with as players. Do I think that anyone in the D-League could beat anyone in the D-League could beat anyone in the A-League? Yeah, sure. I think some of the people at the bottom, at the top end of the D-League, are as good as the bottom people of the A-League.
Yeah, Oak's got a couple free wins. And
Shut up.
There are a few people here who have wins against me and whatnot, even though we are apparently 2 of the bottom A-League coaches.
According to Blueback.
Well, I mean,
he's the best Pokemon's player, though, so.
Yeah. But,
all right, so that'll be about it, guys. Just so you know, I'm going to be uploading these into separate videos on YouTube. I'll be posting both of them probably tonight. Not 100% on that yet. I still have to go to class in an hour, and I'm trying to get to bed early.
Yeah.
But like, I'm trying to upload both of these separate videos tonight. And yeah, that's about it. Any last questions?
Not just hacks. Nope. I also have gambits in the middle of matches.
We are officially done. Stream's over. It is canceled. I'm never